Okay guys, so I just filmed my obsessions video and now it's time to get down to really nerdy business here. So rolling up my sleeves. I have a theory for you guys today that kind of will blow your mind at how detailed and convincing it is, yet how ridiculous it is, because I was like, oh no, this cannot be real. But then I watched all these videos on YouTube about this theory and I was blown away because it sounded like, you know, episode 8, it's gonna happen. That's how convincing it was for me. So if you guys want to hear this amazing Star Wars theory that I have, please keep watching. So guys, the theory is that Jar Jar is a Sith Lord. I know. Just take a minute to let that sink in to your brain. I know it is ridiculous. It is crazy when you first hear it, but there is a lot of reasons why this theory might actually be true. Before I get started, I just want to tell you guys that I'm going to be linking a lot of videos down below so that you guys can check out certain theories videos, or even just really great like nerdy YouTubers or people who are really into Star Wars or have really great Star Wars reviews. Two YouTube channels that I've been watching like crazy, two nerdy YouTube channels are the first one is Super Carlin Brothers, and the second one is Black Nerd Rants, I think it's called. And oh my god, Black Nerd Rants, he's so funny, like you have to check out his channel. And Super Carlin Brothers, great videos as well, amazing. So please go check those guys out. I will link them down below, along with more videos on Darth Jar Jar. So guys, I just wanted to do a quick disclaimer that this this theory was not my own. It was not originated from me. I think it was originated from some Reddit user named Lumpawaru, but I only found it from some of the YouTubers, again, Black Nerd Rants and Super Carlin Bros. Those YouTubers, that's how I found this theory out for myself. So basically the theory is that Darth Jar Jar is a Sith Lord. And I know this sounds very far-fetched, but here are the, I guess, supporting details that make this theory very, very believable. Number 1. Okay guys, so remember the time when the Trade Federation landed and Qui-Gon ran into Jar Jar? Well, the theory, part of this theory is that, do you guys remember how Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Jar Jar had to travel through the core of the earth to get to the city of Naboo? I think it was called that. Yeah. But they had to travel through the core of the earth. And remember, the Trade Federation, that's where they wanted to go. They wanted to go to that city to raid it because Queen Amidala wasn't accepting their wasn't signing some sort of thing. I don't remember exactly the context because I saw that episode a while ago, and let me tell you, I don't want to watch it again because not the best. But anyway, they had to travel through the core of the earth to get to that city. Why would the Trade Federation land near, first of all, Jar Jar's home and all the way across the earth? Like what? What? Why would you land across the earth from where you want to attack? That makes no sense to me. Like, I don't know if they were like pissed off, like they were taking a pit stop to get gas or something, but I think it would just be more efficient to land on the city you're trying to attack. I don't know. You can land outside the city. You can land in the city. You can land 10 miles from the city. It doesn't matter. But you can land at least like in the region, at least in the area of the city, in the perimeter. But no, they land on the other side of the earth, the other side of the planet. I keep saying earth, on the other side of the freaking planet from this city. Why? And why near Jar Jar's home? Because we know that he runs with, like, I guess Qui-Gon and after Qui-Gon saves Jar Jar, Jar Jar's home is very, very close. Why would they land near Jar Jar's home across the planet from where they're trying to attack? Well, the theory states that maybe they had an ally near Jar Jar's home, and maybe that ally was Jar Jar. Speaking of his village, when he walks into his village, it doesn't seem like He's the class clown, the village idiot, or the village like mockery or something. The village I guess, yeah, the village idiot. Someone who the village is like, oh, there's Jar Jar. Oh yeah, that's Jar Jar. What an idiot. Or like, ugh, Jar Jar. Kind of like a passive attitude towards him. No, these people look scared when Jar Jar comes back to a city. It's not the type of reaction when you see someone who's just like dropped some stuff, like who's just a little bit clumsy or idiotic. No, it seems like they're scared. People are screaming, people are running. There's like a guard running up towards him, and then they sentence him to death. What? So yeah, that's another point. There's just so much. It's flowing at me. I can't hold it back. I'm getting too worked up. Reason number 2. Do you guys remember when Jar Jar jumped into the water to travel to his like city or his people? Well, I don't know if you guys remember that specific moment, but Jar Jar does a 15 to 20 foot jump into the air and then does an acrobatic routine while doing it. And let's think, where have we seen those kinds of jumps done? Oh my god, is that right? We've seen them done by Siths and Jedis. So the theory states that Jar Jar may have been doing a Force jump and had help from the Force to do that 15 to 20 foot jump with acrobatic routine from a standing position. Speechless. But it gets better. Reason number 3. So, do you guys remember when Jar Jar and Qui-Gon were going to visit Anakin's town to get spare parts for the ship, because the ship had I don't know what the specific malfunction was, but they had a malfunction at the ship. They needed to get spare parts, so they had to go to that island to get it. Now, do you guys remember that Queen Amidala, who was disguised as the Queen's, I guess, handmaiden at the time, was trying to go with Qui-Gon and Jar Jar, and Qui-Gon refused, or was at least very, I guess, he was very against the idea of bringing the handmaiden / Queen Amidala to this like dusty, kind of crazy little bit gangster city. But why would Qui-Gon refuse Queen Amidala or even a handmaiden when he's bringing stupid Jar Jar with him? What is the purpose of Jar Jar? Honestly, if this handmaiden came, even if he didn't know that she was Queen Amidala, at least this handmaiden can tell Queen Amidala what's going on and what it's like. I think that's bigger priority than bringing some bumbling idiot along with you to this city. But maybe he wasn't a bumbling idiot, and maybe Qui-Gon didn't really want to bring him at all. The theory thinks that Jar Jar was doing a Jedi mind trick so that he could go with Qui-Gon to the city where he finds Anakin. I know this whole Jedi mind trick thing is a little far-fetched, but there's another little supporting detail that you might not have noticed when you watched the movie. So, after I explain this, I will show you some clips from the movie. Basically, in some clips, we see Jar Jar mouthing along to an important person or figure. So, the theory states that Jar Jar might have been using a Jedi mind control, because you know that when people, I guess, when Jedi use the Jedi mind trick, they tell the person, these are not the droids you're looking for. And basically, the other person will repeat what they're saying. So the theory thinks that Jar Jar was mouthing those words and causing larger figures or more important people to say certain things. So here's the clip.
Queen wishes it. She's curious about the planet. Queen wishes it. about the plan?
The Queen will not approve.
Queen doesn't need to know.
Well, I don't approve. Well, I don't approve.
I know, guys, it's crazy. And remember, Jar Jar is an animated character, so every single movement he makes is intentional. Therefore, an animator wouldn't just make him moving his mouth along with the words of someone very important that he's standing very close to without a purpose or intentional reason. And you guys may be thinking, well, maybe Jar Jar just makes those movements with his mouth all the time. Well, if you look at any of the other times Jar Jar's just standing around or walking around, he doesn't make any mouth movements, lip movements, anything going on with his body. His lips are sealed. So why would at this moment, when he's standing next to a important person, why would he be moving his lips? Makes no sense. And again, he is an animated character, so every movement he makes is intentional. Just let that sink into your brain, and we'll move on to the next reason. Okay, guys, numero cuatro. Have you guys noticed that when a Jedi does a mind trick, they move their hands? These are not the droids you're looking for. And they do some sort of hand motion to, I guess, influence the person, or kind of put like a wave of like Jedi mind trickness over them. You noticed that every time a Jedi performs a mind trick, that there's some hand motion or movement involved. Now, let's go back to some of these clips of Jar Jar getting promoted to general and convincing the whole Senate to abandon democracy and trust Palpatine. Okay, let's watch it. Okay, guys, so now that you've seen those clips, what do you think? Every time, who would promote Jar Jar as general? He's a bumbling idiot. And I can't believe he convinced the whole Senate on behalf of Queen Amidala, who is very against giving Palpatine all the power, to abandon democracy and completely give all power to Mr. Palpatine, who of course ends up being a Sith Lord in the end. Another reason is, just think about it, without Jar Jar, Palpatine would have never done the things he did. He would have never taken over. There would have been no Star Wars at all. There would have been no dark, evil, crazy people. There would have been no Empire or First Order or whatever you'd like to call it. Because of Jar Jar and because of him Jedi mind tricking the Senate to abandon democracy, that is why Palpatine rose to power. Okay, guys, reason number 5. Now, Jedi were inspired by certain martial arts, and I think they were inspired by monks, and they had a certain form of martial arts. But this theory thinks that Jar Jar is a Sith, and he's performing a certain form of martial arts called drunken something. I'll find it. It's called drunken something. But basically, the point of this form of martial arts is to look drunken, blundering, unstable, confused, and vulnerable, but actually being powerful, knowing what you're doing, throwing your enemy off their track, gaining momentum from these moves, and on the whole, just winning. Like, honestly, just winning. Anyway, Jar Jar shows these moves. He does these kinds of moves. I'm not even kidding you guys. When you guys remember when he like kicked his foot out and there was a droid attached to his foot and the droid shot at the droid he was stabbing towards. First of all, how would the droid like shoot what? Like, how would the droid shoot? The theory states that maybe he was using the Force to make the gun shoot. But also, why would Jar Jar step towards a droid that was raising his gun in Jar Jar's face? Like, what? Who does that? Jar Jar would, like, run. Jar Jar is not someone who's, like, very, brave, I guess you could say. He's pretty much a very big coward. So why would he step towards this droid? Only if he was doing that sort of drunken martial arts. Because that is actually a move performed in that martial arts. And I'm not even kidding you guys. Like, it is crazy. If you look at the way he's moving, he does all these stumbly moves that end up getting other droids shot at. He does all these bumbling moves. Okay guys, number 6. Now I know this list is getting long, but there's a lot of reasons why this is true. Anyway, George Lucas wanted the prequels to rhyme with episodes 4, 5, and 6. So, for example, Obi-Wan saw Qui-Gon, his master, killed by a Sith. And in episode 4, A New Hope, Luke watches as his master, Obi-Wan this time, is being killed by a Sith as well. Sort of on the lines of that. Now, thinking of this rhyming / mirroring theme that George Lucas wanted to be constant throughout the prequels and episodes 4, 5, and 6, who rhymes with Jar Jar? Just think about it. Who seems like a bumbling, stupid, crazy, idiotic character, but ends up or might end up being a master? Think about it. Got it? Yoda, guys. Remember when we first met Yoda? That sausage-eating, R2-D2 hitting little droid? That sausage-eating, R2-D2 hitting little alien green guy? You remember him? He looked like a hobo. He seemed like a hobo on the side of the road. On the side of the road. Do we know anybody like that who we met on the side of the road? Guys, are you kidding me? And also, guys, Yoda was inspired by a certain form of storytelling where you meet a character on the side of the road who seems irrelevant. Side of the road, first of all, side of the road. Who seems irrelevant, but becomes someone who's very crucial to the story. Yoda was an example of the light side, but who is the example of the dark side? It's Jar Jar. Jar Jar, Yoda, mirror, mirror. Jar Jar is a person we met at the side of the road. He's a strange-looking, crazy, bumbling, idiotic thing. We haven't seen him become something big yet, but could he? And before we get on and we get too excited here, let me just talk about something. Who talks funny? Who talks funny? Yoda, it is! Yoda, it is! Yoda talks funny, but who also talks funny? Jar Jar. People, do you not see the connection? This is crazy! Okay, guys, so that's as much as I can remember about this theory, and I think it's most of what you need to convince yourself. Like, I know, it just takes a minute to absorb, but I will link other videos down below so that you guys can check those out and also see maybe if I missed anything, what else there could be. So I will link all the nerdy Star Wars reviews / Darth Jar Jar theory videos down below, along with some of the channels that I really, really like. And I will see you guys next video. Bye!